Hi everyone, so welcome to today's class. In the last class, we have discussed about the quota arrangement record, and that completes the mandatory master data which is required to go for the P2P cycle or procurement process. Okay, so today we are going to start with the P2P process. So what is a P2P process? Normally in SAP, P2P means procure to pay cycle or procure to pay process. Okay, so it will contain from purchase requisition to the invoice process. So it will be starting with the purchase requisition when there will be a demand of any kind of items or any let's say product, demand of any product. So from that it will start and it will end with the invoice. Let's say when you are going to pay the vendor or whenever you are going to pay the supplier, it will end with that. Okay, so this is basically the process. Already you know what is the process. So it will start from the purchase requisition. Then if your let's say this is a standard thing which is getting asked in the interview, right? So in the interview, they might be asking you, or you might be getting asked, what is a P2P cycle? Explain the P2P cycle. Okay. So whenever you are getting these kind of questions, don't answer it let's say don't go into the details or don't answer it as a end user perspective, answer it as a consultant. Okay, this many times I have said this on the, let's say, any kind of interview, mock interviews are there or interview preparations are there, so I have mentioned the same, but still I'm explaining you this one, so this will be helpful for you. So whenever someone is asking you what is a P2P cycle, explain the P2P cycle, then you can just explain the P2P cycle will start with the demand of the product, which we can configure, or which is a purchase requisition process in the SAP. And if our vendor or if our supplier is known, then directly we can go with the conversion of, let's say, purchase requisition to the purchase order. Then once we are sending the purchase order to the vendor, then vendor will send us the product. We need to do the goods receipt of the product. Then we have to enter the invoices for that received quantity or received product. We have to do the invoice. So that is the P2P cycle. This is a simple thing. You have to answer it simply. Okay. Don't add everything to it. Okay. When I require some of the product, I will create a PR and then I will go for RFQ quotation. Don't go with these kind of things. Simply say when there is a demand for any kind of product, it will start with the purchase requisition, then we, if the supplier is known. So this is basically explanation of if you know the vendor or if you know the supplier. If you don't know the vendor, then there will be a supplier evaluation process. How you can find that one? So with respect to your purchase requisition, you can create a request for quotation. You can send it to the vendors, different vendors, and you can receive the quotation from the vendor. Then you can compare the price with the lower price. You can select your vendor, right? So that will be your regular vendor or your main vendor or any kind of vendor will be there. Let's say you are going for quota arrangement, um, then you can negotiate the other terms also, like how they will be delivering you the product. So you can create an info record for that one, right? You can create an info record, you can create a let's say quota arrangement for that one, right? So these kind of things you can maintain, right? So if your vendor is unknown, once you are comparing the price and you are selecting the vendor, the rest of the process will be same. So this is a simple thing, right? You can answer in two ways, either the vendor is known or vendor is unknown. Just answer the process. What will be the process flow? They need to understand. If your interviewer is asking you P2P cycle, they need to understand if you know the flow, if you know the process, where it starts and where it ends. Don't go into the details of it. If they are asking for the details, then you can explain it. Okay. So this is basically your P2P cycle. In the P2P cycle, basically from PR to PO, from the creation of PR to the PO is known as purchasing topic. Let's say in the purchasing topics, whatever things will be there. So PR will be there. If your vendor is known, then directly PR to PO. But normally when there is a let's say when the process will start, definitely it will go for the PR, then it will go for RFQ, then it will go for a quotation, then it will go for price comparison, then it will go for purchase order. So this is basically the purchasing topic. So in this purchasing topic, this PR is a internal document. This we will not send to anyone. This is our internal document. Other than that, everything, let's say RFQ, quotation, and your purchase order, these all are related to price comparison also. These all are related to external purchasing document. These are external things because RFQ you have to send it. Quotation also, whatever things you are receiving, then price comparison, whatever price comparison is there, you have to send a, let's say, acceptance letter, you have to send a rejection letter, which vendors you are rejecting. So you have to send that. Then in the purchase order also, you are sending it to the vendor. So these all are external topics. This is the, or you can say external documents. This you can say this is the internal purchasing document. Here is a internal purchasing document. So in going forward in some classes, we will be understanding what is a internal purchasing document and external purchasing document. What are the differences we can see in the release procedure. Basically, you can see this internal and external purchasing document. Okay. So that is basically your purchasing topic. Next, in the cycle, we will be having GR or we will be having the GI process normally. So GR, GI or transfer posting, these are known as inventory management topic. So in your interview, if someone is asking you, have you worked on the inventory management process, then you can say yes, I have worked on the GR, GI and transfer posting. These kind of topics, if you have worked on, then you can answer it. Yes, I have worked on the inventory management also. Okay. So the last topic will be your IR or invoice receipt. So basically this is known as your invoicing process. In SAP, we call it as a logistics invoice verification. Okay. So logistics invoice verification means like we will be verifying the invoice with whatever invoice is sent by the vendor. So normally vendor will send us an invoice and we will be verifying and entering it into the systems. Okay. So sometimes some customers or some clients, these invoices might be handled by the finance team. It is up to the team, it is up to the management how they are dividing the topic, but in some cases they are handled by the finance team or FI people. Okay, so till your GR or GI topics, it is your topics, and the invoice receipt is a finance topic. Okay, in some cases, in some places, IR is also handled by the people, but in some specific clients, they don't want to, uh, let's say this is related to the finance or this is integrated to the finance because there is a invoice is there, you need to pay something or costing is coming over there, right? So due to that, it is handled by the finance people. Nothing wrong, nothing right. It is up to the customer or client how they want to manage it. Okay, so there is one more concept is there, VIM or vendor invoice management. Okay, this is one more topic right now. This invoice management is also handled through this VIM also. So this is a separate concept. Okay, so this is an integration to the SAP. So this is a separate concept. If time permits or once we are complete with the let's say this topic, then we can in some time we can discuss a overview of a VIM system also or VIM process also. Okay, so this is basically our P2P cycle. Okay, so P2P cycle means one will be your purchasing topic, that will be PR to PO, then there will be inventory topics, GR to GI, then there will be invoicing topic, which is invoice receipt or credit memo, debit memo, different kinds of things are there. So we will be going from one by one, we will be covering all the topics. So let's say next topic we can go for the PR, then we can go for the RFQ, we can go for the quotation, then we can go for the price comparison, then we can see the purchase order, then we can see the GR, GI or different kinds of inventory topics, then we can go for the different kinds of invoicing topics or logistics LIV topics we can see. Okay, logistics invoice verification we can see. Okay, so this is basically our P2P cycle. I hope this is understood by all of you. If you have any doubt, you can ask questions in the comment section. Okay, I will try to answer those questions. If you if you want to ask in the group, you can ask in the group also. You can join the group. Group link is in the description, so you can join the WhatsApp group or you can join the Telegram group also. So you can answer you can question whatever doubts you are having. You can question over there. Okay. Now moving forward to the P2P cycle. In the P2P cycle, whenever we are going to any kind of purchasing topics, there you will be finding one document type. Okay, so first let's understand what are these things, then we can go to the SAP system and we can understand, we can see what are these kind of things. Okay, so basically you will be finding a document type. Okay, whenever there is a document, we say a purchasing document. Whenever there is a document, there will be a document type will be there. Okay, so document type, what is a document type? Basically, it is a header level control function which will be controlling the number ranges, the field selection, and the allowed item categories. What item categories are allowed? That will be controlling everything. Means the document type will be controlling all of this. Now, what is the item category? So, item category is basically it is a item level control function which will define the procurement process. Procurement process means how the item is going to be procured. Okay, so let's say item category, we'll just see in the system and how this system, let's say for one line item or for one item, how this item is going to be procured. So that will be controlled by the item category. So it is not possible to create new item categories, means we will not be able to create any new item categories, or we cannot control or we cannot edit the control function of this item categories. Just in a minute we will be understanding how what this means or why we cannot edit this. Okay, so because these are the some of the standard functions which processes are already there, which is a defined process by the system standard, by the industry standard. These things are maintained, so we cannot edit the item categories or whatever controls are there for the item categories, we cannot create anything. Document type, we can create it by copying the existing document type or any standard document type we'll be having, we can copy from that. Okay, so now let's see what is a document type and let's see what is the item category. So now let's go to the system. So if you go here, we can go to SPRO. In SPRO, we can go to reference IMG. So here we can go to the material management. From here, we can go to purchasing. So inside the purchasing, we can go to the, so just for example, we are going to the purchase requisition. So in the purchase requisition, first thing you can see define document type. Okay, if you click on here, there are many document types are there because it is a online server, many things have been created, but here you can see this is the this NB document type is the standard document type for purchase requisition. Okay, so uh, if you see if you click on this and if you click on allowed item categories, it will show you which item categories have been allowed. Okay, so this is basically, here you can see this is the document type, this is the description, this is the item interval. Okay, and this is the number ranges. Here you can see this is the number ranges. Here you can see the internal number range, here you can see the external number range, and this is the field selection. So these all things have been assigned to the document type over here. So that's why this document type will control all of these things. Number ranges and the field selection it will control, and also the item categories. If we select this one and click on allowed item categories, so here you can see these item categories are allowed for this document type NB. Okay, so other than this item categories, I will not be able to procure any other item categories. Okay, so here you can see These are the item categories. Let's say I don't want to procure the standard item with this NV, or I don't want to procure the third party items or subcontracting item. I can remove that. Okay, I can remove that one. Okay, so I can remove that one, so that I will not be able to means anyone will not be able to order the subcontracting item with this document type. So gradually we will understand what is the document type, how you can create, how you can do this kind of things, what is the relevance for this one. But today just understand the document type. So document type, it is a header type control function. It will control these these kind of things. So first thing is, here you can see the number ranges. Here you can see the number ranges, internal or external or both you can mention. Here you can see the field selection. So NBB is the standard field selection for your purchase requisition. This is a standard field selection. If you want to change it, or if you want to create a new field selection also, you can create a new field selection. Okay, that is a separate topic. When we come to the purchase requisition, then we will be looking into that, how we can create a new field selection or how we can create a new document type. Those kind of things will be looking into it. Okay, so this is all about your document type. Now let's understand what is a item category. Now here we can see define external representation of item categories. If you click on this one, here you can see these are the item categories which are already defined here. Okay, we cannot create new item categories, or we cannot change anything from here. Okay, so if you select this one, let's say you can see this is the item category is blank. Okay, if the item category is blank, it means it is a standard procurement. So if we say standard procurement, if you select this one and go to the details, here you can see these are some controls have been mentioned over here, and you cannot change anything from here. Everything is under display, so you cannot change anything from here. That is what we have discussed. That is what we have mentioned. It is not possible to create new item categories or the edit the control function. So here you cannot edit the control function. Okay, you cannot edit any kind of control function. You cannot edit because it is already grayed out, so you will not be able to edit, or you cannot create any new item categories. So here, as per the requirement, here you can see the control account assignment. What will be the account assignment control? What will be the goods receipt control? What will be the invoice receipt control? So these are the controls are there. If you want to understand on your own, you can just click on this help button, and here you can see there is a explanation is there. Okay, so here you can still just click on here, just click on here and click on this. Just 1 second. Let's go back and let's come again. Okay, so now here you can see this is the topic has been explained. Okay, so what is the item categories? They mention defining how the procurement of a material or service item is controlled. Okay, so how the procurement will happen, it will control. What is the use? The item category determines the field selection, whether any additional data screens are shown. In addition, it determines whether a goods receipt or invoice receipt to follow. Okay, which goods receipt needs to be followed, or which invoice receipt needs to be followed. So here are some of the defined item categories are there. We have already seen standard, consignment, subcontracting, third party, stock transfer, service, material unknown, material group, and text. Okay, so here are some examples are all also given. So in the standard SAP R3 system, an item category standard requires goods receipt and the invoice receipt. By contrast, invoice receipt are not allowed for the consignment process, right? So for the standard procurement, you will be having a goods receipt and you will be creating a invoice receipt for that one. But in the consignment process, there will be no invoice items or invoice receipt will be there. Rather, you will be going for the settlement process. Right. So with the item category subcontracting, a screen is displayed containing the components provided or to be provided. Right. So this will be controlled by the subcontracting if you are taking the item category as subcontracting. If you are taking item category as third party, then a dialog box will appear which you can enter the delivery address. So this box will not appear for requisitions. Okay. So service item same. With the item category service, screens will be displayed which you can create and set up a hierarchical structure for detailed service specification. So these are the some of the examples. Okay. So this is basically the item category and the document. So I believe this is clear to you. You have already understood everything. If you are having any doubt, you can ask in the comment section or you can ask in the group if you are having any doubts. So that's all for today. We'll meet up again in the next class. We will be starting with the purchase requisition. That is the first topic of your P2P cycle. We will be starting with that. So till then, bye bye, take care and keep learning.